Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Forza Motorsport 7, where we've only got a few races left before we're done with the game. What are we going to do next? But definitely something fast, because, to be fair, Showroom Rally was kind of boring. Oh yeah, now I remember. We were going to do an open race.
No car restraints here. In this open race, you could bring whatever you want to the track. Now, if you're doing great on points, why not take something new out for a test drive?
All right. Let us pick the car of our choice. Because this, Oh, I've been doing a little bit more jumping around than I like. Sorted by division. Oh no, no off-road buggies for me. What are we gonna drive? That one looks kind of interesting. No, that one doesn't. This one does, but that one looks like it's relatively slower. Shall we hop into a Ferrari? I think let's hop into a Ferrari. All right. Throw on some mods. Braking line only? Sure, why not? All right. First turn is to the left. It's a very sharp one. Let's see what the hell we're actually going to be driving against. And I see that brake line on the right there. That actually, no? That's very rude of you. But I'll take it. Because for some reason I've got confidence. Alright. This has definitely been a relatively exciting beginning. There we go. Or there we don't go. We're already back into ninth place. Excuse me. Thank you very much. There we go. Alright, 7th place, and roughly a little bit more than a lap to make up for that. Ooh, now this is a tough turn. Let's try to keep in mind the braking line. Didn't necessarily do that great of a job, but we're still in 7th, so there's that. All right. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of a gap between 7th and 6th, and then also a little bit of a gap between 6th and 5th. But with any luck, I can either close that gap fairly quickly or lose fairly quickly. I will accept either outcome. I was hoping to kind of sideline into him. That did not happen. 6th place. I feel as though I can at least catch up with possibly... Let's rewind so I can do that again. My concern is that if I don't, that's going to restrict me from necessarily being really able to compete with 5th and 4th. Hold up. I have no idea what happened to 4th place, but it seems like they got run off the road. Alright, so well, now we're in 5th place, 4th place is just ahead of us. There's that big turn, and I could potentially use it as a means to pass the 4th place driver by. Or I'll just pass them by normally. Okay. Let's try that again. I was not expecting my car to take so long to stop, because I'm pretty sure I was holding the brake for much longer. But then that's probably what I should have expected to happen, considering whatever speed I was traveling at, as I was not even paying attention to the speed at the time. There's a slight chance I might be able to make it into 3rd. But I don't know if it's strong enough. No, not enough. Yep. Calling it too soon? Nope, not enough. If it went on for, like, 1 or 2 more laps, I might have caught up to 1st. But at 2 laps... Alright. Well, at the very least, I didn't slap the card that expected me to come in 3rd place to 1st. I said 5th place or better, and I came in 4th place. So, let us find some more mods to purchase. Nothing quite that interesting. Let's slap that down. Okay. We're doing a do-over on that one, because the very first thing that happened was my car got shoved and spun out of the way. Which was very rude, and that is not what they are allowed to do. That is only what I am allowed to do. All right. Thank you for the extra boost. That also didn't spin me out of control. Let's see if we can catch up with 2nd and 1st. But anyway, so I've been saying for a while, if only this specific track went on for like 1 to 3 more laps, I would probably catch up with whoever's in 1st. Now we have a track that's 4 laps. So let's see if I can put my money where my mouth is. I have the whole 3.5 laps to catch up with 2nd and 1st. Okay. So, I was looking at the track, not the mini-map, and I did not see the barrier. I only saw the turn, so I assumed it was going outside and not curving in. So that's me not paying attention to either of the map or the braking line. But honestly, with this, the way things are going right now, I highly doubt I'll be able to catch up with either the first or second place driver ever. With this particular race. Because, like, they've just managed... they're just so far in the lead. Like, I would have to really kind of nail these turns in a fashion that is far better than I am currently able to do. Like, I can see the fourth place driver trying to sneak up on me. And hopefully I could at the very least keep that from happening. But yeah, in regards to the statement I frequently make about being able to succeed if only I had a few more laps to make it, this is not one of those tracks. I can assure, like, even if it was just for the 2 laps, like there's a very... I feel like I'm better at sharp turns in this game. Like the really, really sharp turns. But the ones that you can kind of... the game expects you to actually speed around rather than come to a near complete stop. Like those I have not... I haven't quite gotten the skill for it. And clearly there are 2 aspects of this current track that are evidence of that. Is one, how far ahead the second and first place driver are getting. And 2, how close behind the fourth place driver is. So I'm not necessarily gaining any distance on the people behind me. But the people already ahead of me are gaining distance on me. And I presume that if the fourth place driver did manage to figure out some way to sneak past me, they would then go on to gain more distance. Yeah, this could be an endurance race, and it would just be me in third place for the longest time. So, let us just... So while I don't expect to the way things are going, I don't expect to necessarily be that successful with this particular set. It's at least more interesting than the previous set I did. I already forget the type of car, but it just wasn't a very interesting drive. Whereas this is at least an interesting drive. It maintains the fantasy that comes with playing a driving game in the first place. Like, I'm never going to own a Ferrari, even if I had the money to own a Ferrari. I probably still would not own one, simply because it would be a waste for me. Also, considering how beat up this Ferrari got, yeah, the expense would definitely be way too high. But at the very least, in the context of this video game, I can drive a Ferrari for a little bit. Alright, called a mulligan on that race as well because I was rewinding a bit too often. Let's try that again. Right from the top. First turn is to the right. See, it would be fine if it wasn't for all the other drivers. They're always trying to win and stuff and get in the way. Overall better, although I'm not doing a great job catching up with this second place driver. That son of a... Let's try that again. I was hoping I would be fast enough to hit him, while also being slow enough to not lose control. Son of a... Can't I just drive 180 miles per hour and not lose any sort of speed or control when making extremely sharp turns? Is that too much to ask? Also, I feel as though I'm once again basically saying that I probably should just play F-Zero. Though, I'm in second place, so that's the start. Okay. I'm gonna rewind that because I couldn't really see where the road was going. And I wasn't looking at the mini-map. But it's kind of hard to tell, like, how much curve this particular turn does because of its uphill nature. That is my excuse for ignoring the brake line, which still existed, and I suppose was still flagging red. All right. So second place, first place is not that far ahead. Not terribly far ahead. And I've still got about... Oh, and there's actually one more turn. Two more turns. Not one more turn. Two more turns. Three more turns? Kind of three. Four more turns, actually. Never mind. Before the end of the first lap. I feel it's harder to learn a track when you're behind. Because you're focused more on like the distance between you and the car ahead of you. So you don't necessarily pay as much attention to like the mini-map or oh my gosh. And you don't necessarily follow the braking line quite as much as the game would recommend. Oh, son of a! As much as the game might recommend you do. Because you've got that mindset, and I say you, I really mean me. I've got that mindset of trying to overtake. While at the same time, like, not specifically understanding the best point of the track to do so. Even though this is not my first trip on this track, like, I'm far from being an expert. And I might have to be satisfied with second place. Because there might be a chance that I might not be able to overtake. Yeah. Because in order to overtake, I'm gonna actually have to drive better than he's driving. When I'm in the front, I don't have to do that good. But when I'm behind, and when the computer doesn't really make mistakes, like, I'm relying on him to make mistakes. But if he doesn't make any mistakes, then that's that. Or should I say, that would be that, unless I was able to just kind of be a better driver. I want to see if I can just go fast enough to crash into him. Like, do I have enough? I don't think I have enough speed to reliably crash into him. I can reliably crash past him. But if I'm going fast enough... No, that just kind of like careens past, just scrapes him a little bit. And that just kind of, like, all of that just kind of trades the person who was in first. Okay, that was kind of entertaining to try. But highly unsuccessful. Which I suppose makes sense. This may be a very accessible racing game, but that does not mean... son of a... It's the kind of racing game where you could just crash cars off of the road and somehow hope to win. Still second place. An improvement over the previous two races. Yes, I will take this free car. $350,000 discount after credits after a discount? That is an expensive vehicle. Oh, but now I can't access it anyway. Alright. First turn is technically to the left. It looks as though the track kind of like just curves to the right and then turns to the left. Oh yeah, this is the one. Yeah. This is the track that has the roundabout. Like the really sharp roundabout right at the beginning. Okay. Let's sneak past these guys. Sorry. Also sorry. And by sorry, I mean excellent. Everything has gone according to plan. What was I saying like 2 minutes ago about the idea that this game is a simulation and that you can't succeed just by crashing people off the road? Clearly, that is technically incorrect. It's more accurate to say that there are very specific situations in which you can run people off the road. And the previous race was not it. This race was clearly the moment that I needed to just run people off of the road. And it was great. Now, the question that I would have is... the question that I would have is, like, how possible would that be if I was actually simulating damage rather than just experiencing cosmetic damage? Would I still be able to successfully run people off the road and have a functional car? And also, if I had to go to a mechanic to get this Ferrari fixed, how expensive would the body damage be? Do not bill me. It's just a virtual Ferrari, but I would imagine it would be pretty expensive. Okay, acceptable. Not exactly a perfect turn, but an acceptable turn. Though I feel as though my quality of driving is a perfect example of, like, a previous argument I've made about my own abilities in this game, is that if I'm in the lead, then it's fine. Like, it's a lot easier to hold the lead than it is to acquire it. Like, I'm still somewhat surprised I didn't bother rewinding after slamming into those tires on accident. I wasn't really paying attention to where I was in the turn. But I was able to recover from it before anybody passed me by. And I figure I haven't been very clear with the rules for when I rewind and when I don't. So I figure now is probably a good chance to do that. before the game is over. I've kind of readjusted it to the idea that I can rewind all the time if need be. If it feels like I'm rewinding too much within too short a period of time, then I tend to start the race over from the beginning. If it's a bad hit that is going to be hard to recover from, then I'll likely rewind. If it's a bad hit that I can recover from, then I'll keep going. Like, this particular race, I've taken quite a few bad hits. But I've been able to recover from all of them. And I think that's the most important part. And possibly the part that might teach me the most. In theory, I don't know. Is if I try to focus on recovering from my mistakes rather than trying to repeatedly rewind until I acquire that minute sense of perfection. Either way, this race is done. Alright, 4 races done, on to race number 5. Hopefully I can maintain the success that I brought to...
Rain clouds rolling in. Get ready for a wet track.
Hopefully I can maintain it. Alright, first turn is to the right. Let's give it a go. Should I just take this? Is this fine? All right. Second place. Okay, let's try that again. As I was expecting the brakes to be slightly stronger. There we go. That's what I wanted. And in first. Fantastic. Now just to hold on to it, while not doing incredibly stupid... That was a perfect turn, apparently. Alright. Oh, no. No. There we go. I barely even noticed the brake line that time. Okay, so what was I saying about not doing stupid stuff in order to lose the lead? Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. At the very least, this also gives me a little bit more practice in regards to rain driving. Which I could definitely use. Are you guys catching up on me? I hope not. Because that would be far ruder than whatever the hell it was I was doing at the beginning of this track. I feel as though the more I play this game, the more towards the beginning, you could say I tried to figure out what the rules were and how to follow the rules. And the more I play the game, the more I feel as though I am seeking how closely I need to actually follow those rules. How closely I need to follow those rules versus which ones I could break. I'm treating the game, in a sense, similar to the Matrix. Like, there are rules. This game has a system of rules, and rules are meant to be broken. Like, if I was driving an actual car, then the actual expense of driving the car would be something that would come into play. Not to mention the actual durability of said car. In real life, the thing that would happen would be I would get into that one crash at the beginning, then the engine would stall, and then the race would be over. This game has its simulation aspects, but at the same time, it's also kind of like back in physics class. I remember my physics teacher always kind of setting up these questions in frictionless environments, which is an important quality because it means you don't have to worry about friction as an opposing force. It's important in regards to learning physics, because if you try to incorporate every aspect of reality at once, then it can be overwhelming. When you're trying to learn about basic foundational things like velocity and acceleration. See, I'm somewhat connecting my physics comparison to this game. Like, if you're trying to be like an absolutely realistic experience with damage control and everything, then that might make you very cautious when you're driving past these computer players. Especially considering the fact that you, as a driver, have a budget. Let's say this game was more realistic, and I actually had to worry about the price, not just the price of the car, but the maintenance of the car. Like, imagine if there was like a tournament mode in which you entered in as a driver looking to be the best, and to prove that you're the best, you're going to win the Forza Cup. But you've got to pay for your car, you've got to pay for your maintenance, you've got to pay for your pit crew, and you do that by winning smaller races to get the money that allows you to get the better car, to get the better upgrades, to enter the bigger races. The computers in this game don't need to worry about money. They don't need to worry about whether or not they're going to complete the Forza Cup. They're just trying to win this one race. So if maintaining my car was an issue, it would be an issue that really only affects myself. It wouldn't necessarily affect the computer on the track. Let's slap on some mods. Because this is the last race of the track, and thusly the most important for score reasons, I'm going to throw on some grid improvement, brake line only, and brake line only. Like, it's fine towards the beginning of the set to not be first, because at the beginning the first track isn't worth as much. But at the end, the score is way higher, and you lose a lot more if you're farther and farther behind. First turn is to the left. Second turn is in the distance. The middle distance. Oh, never mind. It's to the right. Oh. It's very rude of you. Just because... Nope. Oh my gosh. Jesus Christ. See, aside from... doing stupid stuff like running people into walls, I also don't quite have the fine control over the analog stick that this game seems to also want. Somehow I'm not rewinding from that. Is that good enough? Probably, maybe? I don't know. I probably should have rewound. Especially since now the first place driver, who was the second place driver, is getting farther and farther ahead. No, got... Again, analog stick, fine control. And that time I did not bother to turn properly. Alright. Now I will pass him by. Again. And no, I'm not sorry for that one. There we go. And yes, I probably shouldn't be spending much time driving while also looking behind me, especially considering I missed turns while looking straight forward. But I feel like I'm kind of like, to expand on what I was saying earlier in regards to seeking to break the rules, you could also argue I'm kind of at that point in which I know enough to be fairly decent in the game, while also knowing enough to be terrible, simply by just... it's like when you get too comfortable in, like, Bloodborne or Dark Souls, and you think that you can just run in because you know it that well, but you really don't. Like, I feel comfortable enough with the controls in the game that I feel like I can just go in. Nope. No passing. Bumping is somewhat okay. I will accept bumps, but no passes. Alright, so we got a slight turn to the right, but a major turn to the left. Ooh, the game even said it was good. Perfect even. Wow. I can just get rid of these brake lines right now and everything will go A-okay. I'm not gonna, though. But yeah, I've also kind of spent most of the game wondering whether or not I should really use the grid improvement mods. I'm still on the fence about that. Like, is that, like, would you consider the grid improvement? Son of a... The grid improvement mods to be cheating? And how would it be cheating versus just being able to rewind the game? Like, having that grid improvement wouldn't necessarily guarantee the race for me. Like, if I wasn't in that earlier race where I was just drifting farther and farther behind first and second place. I think it was the third race of this set. And I figured there was no chance for me to catch up. Even if I had the improved grid placement, as long as if I wasn't able to overtake the other drivers within, like, the first few moments of the race, I would not have been able to overtake for the rest of the race. Like, having that extra grid improvement wasn't necessarily going to make me a better driver. It just makes it easier to start off ahead. So for that particular race, I could have easily found myself left behind. Even with the improved grid placement. Like, the improved grid placement is nice because I can just use it to force myself into the lead. Because I still don't quite have the capacity to make those perfect turns on a more consistent level. Either way, this set is done. Alright. Placed first, actually got to show up. In the meantime, got any suggestions for someone to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.